Imagine this. It's late at night, you're lying in bed staring at the ceiling. You told yourself you wouldn't think about him again, not tonight, not after all the times you've tried to move on. And yet there he is, playing on repeat in your mind like a song you can't turn off. His smile, his voice, the way he made you feel, it all comes rushing back. You scroll through old texts, maybe even check his social media, hoping for something, anything that makes sense of why you can't let go. But let me ask you something. Why does your brain keep circling back to him? Why, no matter how much you distract yourself, does his presence linger in the quiet spaces of your mind? Have you ever noticed how even the smallest reminder, a song on the radio, a place you once went together, a phrase you used to say, can pull you right back into that emotional storm? You try to push it away, but the harder you fight, the stronger it comes back. And you start to wonder, what's wrong with me? Why can't I stop thinking about him? But here's the truth. Nothing is wrong with you. You're not weak, you're not broken, and you're not alone. Thousands of women feel this same emotional tug, and psychology has powerful explanations for why it happens. Sometimes it's about attachment. The way we bond with someone can run deeper than logic or willpower. Other times it's about unfinished stories. Your mind clings to what it doesn't fully understand, looping the memory as if replaying it could finally give you the closure you crave. And often it's about the brain's reward system. Love and attraction light up the same pathways as addiction, which is why letting go feels like withdrawal. But think about this. Could it be that your thoughts aren't really about him at all, but about the part of you that feels incomplete without what he represented? Could it be that your mind isn't obsessed with the man, but with the meaning he carried for you? Safety, validation, hope, or love? Here's what I want you to know. If you've been blaming yourself for not being able to just get over it, stop. There's a reason your heart and mind feel trapped in this loop, and once you understand it, everything begins to shift. Because psychology reveals something powerful. Your thoughts aren't random, and they aren't permanent. There's a science behind why he feels unforgettable, and once you uncover it, you'll finally see the path to peace. Date. So if you've ever asked yourself, why can't I stop thinking about him? Stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the hidden reasons why your mind won't let go, but you'll also discover how to break free. Because here's the part no one ever tells you. It's not really about him, it's about you. And once you see the truth, you'll never look at love, memory, or obsession the same way again. Have you ever wondered why you can't stop checking your phone, waiting for his name to light up your screen? That rush of excitement when you finally see a text from him isn't just in your head, it's in your brain chemistry. When you think about him, or when he gives you even the smallest amount of attention, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical tied to pleasure and reward. It's the same chemical that spikes when you eat your favorite dessert or hear a song you love. But in love and attraction, dopamine works on overdrive. Your brain starts to connect him with that reward. Every text, every call, every memory of his touch becomes like a hit your mind craves. That's why you replay conversations in your head or check his social media over and over. It's not that you want to think about him, it's that your brain has wired him into its reward system, almost like a habit. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, I'm not going to look at my phone tonight, only to find your fingers reaching for it anyway? Why does a 3-word message from him feel more powerful than anything else happening in your day? It's because your brain has started treating him like a source of pleasure and relief. The anticipation of hearing from him is almost as powerful as the actual moment you do, and that's the tricky part. Just like with an addiction, your mind begins chasing the high, and when it's not there, you feel restless, distracted, even anxious. And the cycle doesn't stop there. The less certain you are about when or if he'll reach out, the more intense the craving becomes. Unpredictability fuels the brain's obsession. It's the same principle behind gambling. You don't know when the jackpot will hit, so you keep pulling the lever. With him, every unread notification feels like it could be him, and that tiny chance is enough to keep you hooked. So ask yourself, are you really holding on to him, or are you holding on to the chemical rush your brain associates with him? Because once you see that this obsession isn't about weakness, but about biology, you can start to reclaim your power. But that's only part of the story. Would you like me to continue this into the next section where I explain the emotional psychology, attachment, and unfinished stories that keep women hooked? Sometimes the reason you can't stop thinking about him goes deeper than brain chemistry. It touches the old wounds of attachment. If you grew up with love that felt uncertain, where sometimes you felt seen and cared for and other times you felt ignored, your nervous system learned a pattern: hold on tighter or you lose love. That's what anxious attachment is. It's not weakness, it's survival. A way your younger self adapted when love didn't feel safe or steady. Imagine a woman who knows deep down this man isn't good for her. Maybe he pulls away, maybe he gives just enough attention to keep her hoping, but never enough to make her feel secure. Every time he withdraws, she feels panic. Every time he comes back, she feels relief. And so the cycle continues. She tells herself, I deserve better, but the ache in her chest pulls her right back. What she's really chasing isn't him, it's the comfort of finally feeling chosen, the thing she longed for as a child. Have you ever asked yourself why someone who hurts you can still feel irresistible, or why your mind clings hardest to the people who make you doubt your worth? These patterns aren't about logic. They're about the echoes of childhood love, replaying themselves in adulthood. When you're caught in anxious attachment, your thoughts aren't just about him. They're about the old fear of abandonment that never got soothed. And until that wound is acknowledged, it's like your heart keeps searching for the person who will finally heal it. But here's the twist. It's not only your past that keeps you hooked. Your imagination, the fantasies you build about him and what could be, also play a powerful role. One of the biggest reasons obsession lingers is because the mind confuses fantasy with reality. Imagination has a way of filling in the gaps, painting over pain with the memories we want to hold on to. When you miss him, what often comes to the surface aren't the arguments, the neglect, or the nights you cried. It's the sweet moments, the smile he gave you, the way he held your hand when you felt small. Your brain replays those highlights like a movie reel, editing out the parts that hurt. Picture a woman who knows the man she's drawn to is unreliable. He cancels plans, he avoids deep conversations, he leaves her guessing. Yet when he sends a playful text, her mind rushes back to the early days, the laughter, the butterflies, the way she felt alive in his presence. She tells herself that's the real him and pushes away the evidence of who he is now. In truth, she's not only missing him, she's missing the dream of who she thought he could be. But here's the hard question. Are you in love with him or with the story you created about him? Are you clinging to the man himself or the fantasy of the man you wish he was? Fantasy is powerful because it promises resolution, a perfect ending your heart never got in reality. It tricks you into believing that if you just wait or just try harder, those sweet moments will return for good. And that makes letting go feel impossible. But obsession isn't only about fantasy. It also has to do with something deeper, hidden in the psyche. Psychology calls it the shadow side. And once you see it, everything changes. Carl Jung believed that each of us carries a shadow, the parts of ourselves we don't fully see, the hidden wounds and unmet needs we push down. In love, the shadow shows up in powerful ways. We're often drawn to partners who reflect back those very wounds, almost like a mirror. That's why some men feel unfairly fun enough inside of us. Think about it like this. A woman who grew up feeling unseen may find herself irresistibly pulled toward a man who is emotionally distant. On the surface, it makes no sense. Why would she choose someone who withholds love? But unconsciously, her shadow whispers, if I can make him stay, if I can make him see me, I'll finally heal what I've carried all along. What feels like love is often projection, placing the unmet needs of the past onto the face of the present. Imagine her replaying every word he said, every smile he gave, as though hidden inside was the answer to her worth. She isn't just longing for him, she's longing for the part of herself she's been chasing since childhood. And that makes walking away feel like losing a piece of her soul. So let me ask you, are you truly holding on to the man in front of you, or are you holding on to the shadow he reflects back, the wounds you've never allowed yourself to fully face? Because once you see that, you realize obsession isn't destiny, it's a cycle, and cycles can be broken. The real question is, how do you break free from this pattern and finally reclaim yourself? That's what we'll explore next. The first step to breaking free from obsessive thoughts is awareness. Notice when your mind drifts back to him. Don't shame yourself for it, just catch it. Awareness is powerful because it shifts you from being controlled by the thought to being the one observing it. Second, give yourself a reality check. Take out a piece of paper and make 2 columns, one for the fantasy and one for the reality. On one side, write the idealized moments, the laughter, the sweet texts, the way you made you feel alive. On the other, write the truth, the cancellations, the distance, the moments you felt small. When you see both side by side, it becomes harder to keep living in the illusion. Third, begin rewiring your habits. Every time you feel the urge to check your phone or replay old memories, redirect that energy into something grounding. A walk, journaling, calling a friend. The goal isn't to deny your feelings, but to break the automatic cycle that keeps you hooked. Remember, your brain is wired like a muscle. With repetition, you can create new patterns. Finally, turn the focus back to yourself. Ask, what is the part of me that I've been trying to heal through him? Then give that to yourself. Invest in your passions, your body, your growth. When your life feels full, his absence doesn't feel like a hole, it feels like space you've reclaimed. It won't happen overnight, but it will happen if you stay consistent. You are stronger than the pull of the past. And every time you choose reality over fantasy, self-focus over obsession, you're breaking the chains one link at a time. Patterns aren't destiny, they can be broken. And so can this one. We've uncovered a lot together. You've seen how brain chemistry, those surges of dopamine and the reward system can make thinking about him feel almost addictive. You've learned how attachment wounds, especially anxious attachment, pull you toward men who mirror the fears of being unseen or abandoned. You've realized how fantasy can blur the lines of reality, keeping you stuck in a story rather than the truth. And you've discovered Carl Jung's insight into the shadow, how we project our hidden wounds onto others, making certain men feel unforgettable even when they're not right for us. But here's the part I hope sinks in the deepest. None of this means you're weak. None of this means you're broken. It's not that you can't get over him. It's that your mind and heart are wired in ways shaped by biology, psychology, and old wounds. And once you see it clearly, you're no longer trapped by it. You now have the tools to break the cycle. Awareness of the thoughts, a reality check to cut through illusion, new habits to rewire your brain, and the courage to focus back on yourself. Each small step is an act of taking back your power. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop chasing what hurts you and start building the life you deserve? The truth is, you are stronger than the obsession. You are more powerful than the patterns of the past. And the moment you choose yourself, you begin to heal. Take back your power. Start today. If this message resonated with you, subscribe now for more Psychology of Love videos, because the answers you've been searching for are already within you.